Go ahead and call this meeting to order with the Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Captain, please do the roll call.
Supervisor Craig.
Here.
Supervisor Thorne.
Here.
Chairman Shalley.
Here.
Supervisor Bromer. And Supervisor Wolford.
Here. Can I suggest a motion to go into, our first item on the agenda will be citizens' concerns. Anyone here wishes to address the town board? Can I suggest a motion to go into public comment? I'll second that. I have a motion by Ralph, second by Terry. All in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed say no. Motion carries. Who wants to start? Go ahead.
Jeff Bellamy, 1503 Caroline Street. First of all, I want to draw your attention to the chalkboard. As I spoke before about issues with the Lions Club for the use of the community center, for 21 years, I've never had any problem, never damaged any property of use of the community center. I reserved the keys a day sooner than normal. I told Chad under his request that I do not go in the community center until the day of use. I did not. That morning I pulled up, I backed up to the steps. I was unloading my truck and a Lions Club member, which I do not know name, came and said to me that I am not to back up to the door because the sidewalk he paid for to put it in there. My red truck does not damage that sidewalk, has not damaged the old sidewalk either. With that being the reason of speaking on that is that I also asked the Park and Rec supervisor to change the lock on the door and get all keys to be reserved by the town when they're going to use it, and not have the supervisors having keys given out so that anybody can go in there at any given time, walk in there, take a look, go downstairs, come back up and leave. It's not their building. They had no rights for any of them to be in there or go in there when I'm using it. And with that being said, I know I'm not going to get any comments on it, on changing the lock, if that's what should be done. I'm looking at the fire truck. Where's the money that's going to go for that? I hear it was sold, and there's almost $1,700. Where's that going? Is that going in general fund? Chad?
You want me to comment? Yes, that will go back into the general fund, Jeff.
I'm also looking at some other equipment that's out in the back locked-in area. There's called a mule machine. Who's going to use that, and how much did that cost the town to have that? And then there's a red trailer that's sitting back there too. Is that supposed to be the town's, or does that belong to the county, or who does that belong to? Because I heard that was supposed to be gone and it's sitting there. And then I can't believe it. I run into the town chairman, at Menard. He tells me he has no desire to run for office and he can let the other people have it, like Bruce Becker and Dennis Nelson. Kind of a lie, ain't it? Wow. I think I seen your name on the paper telling me that you took out papers, turned them in. I don't know if we need somebody like that for a town chairman, especially when they lie. I guess I rest my case.
Thanks, Jeff. Anybody else? Go ahead.
I thought the open meetings were supposed to be for advisory, not question and answer.
Correct. Anything else, Steve? Okay, thanks. Anybody else? Go ahead.
be my opinions. One, I think there's way too much town business going behind closed doors. And the other one, I'll back up Steve on this. There's some of our supervisors feel that an open meeting, they don't have to answer questions.
Anything else?
That's all.
All right, thank you. Anybody else? Go ahead, Bruce.
Just a point of information, Bob, is there anything more come out about the new sewer program from the city?
I haven't seen anything.
Is there meetings coming up or anything like that, or?
Last one I was at was on Alaska, and then I saw the article in the paper, so.
Kinda looks like rates will probably go up when it's said and done, huh?
Well, I don't know that anything's said and done on it.
Well, I say once it is said and done.
For the regional?
Yeah.
That's certainly my concern. That's what I think those questions have to be answered before anybody does it, so.
Early in the game, you know?
I think so. That's our, I think, consensus on this board anyway.
Thanks.
Anything else, Bruce?
Yeah, wondering, Ralph, are we gonna have a revelation of the Lake Del Rey plan, or is that still on hold?
Not really on hold. We're just still moving slowly. We're hoping by spring we can move something ahead here.
It's been, what, a year and a half, I think the people are probably looking for some
It's
reason.
been about 30 years. It's never been right from day one. We're working on it. I've only been here about a year and a half. Okay.
I think that's, what, how long it was that they got flooded out or whatever, wasn't it? July?
It happened right when I got on, yes.
Yeah.
Yep. And the first one was in May, and then the big one was in July.
Mhm.
Yep.
Anything else, Bruce?
That's it for
All
me.
right, thank you. Anybody else? Last call? I get a motion to call public comment.
Close public comment, or move to close.
Okay, I'll second that. I got a motion by Bob, second by Terry. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, say no. Motion carries. Let's move down to the consent agenda. Items A through C. If there's no action taken on the consent agenda, can I suggest a motion, please?
Motion that we accept the consent agenda.
I'll second that. I got a motion by Mitch, second by Terry. Any further discussion? I'll call the motion. All in favor, say aye. Opposed, say no. Motion carries. Let's move down to business 5A. Approval of contract with Eggleston and Associates Ltd. to conduct financial audit for 2018. Mr. Chad?
So every year, statutorily again, we still have to have an audit done. Ingleson's been doing it now for how many years? I didn't give you anything in the packet, it's pretty big, but I think this year, I think it was $9,100, $9,600. Small increase from last year, a couple $100, but they do a good job. I don't have any issues with them.
Any questions?
So you have the contract, you said?
I do, yep. Same one every year.
So
but
it's the same, it's pretty much the same, and you said the increase is how much?
I think it went from 91 to 96, so
It has the price in there though?
yeah, it'd be no more than 96 is what it is.
Make sure before we approve that what the actual cost is.
Based on an estimate, the maximum fee should be approximately $9,600.
Okay, I'll make a motion to approve the contract with Ingelson Associates to conduct our financial audit for 2018.
I'll second that. We got a motion by Mitch, second by Terry. Any further discussion? I'll call the motion. All in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, say no. Motion carries. Let's move down to 5B. Approval of refunds due for 2018 taxes. Mr. Chad?
So again, tax season comes around, and we usually always get a few overpayments. As you can see, this year, I think there was 12 of them, total $343.59, ranging from a penny up to $125. So
Motion to approve the refunds.
I'll second that.
Motion by Kelsey and a second by Ralph. Any further discussion? I'll call a motion. All in favor signify by saying aye. Opposed, say no. Motion carries. Let's move down to 5C, approval of 2019 MTU agreement with the city of La Crosse. I'll have to abstain from this.
The cost for MTU service will be $38,861. That represents about a $700 increase from the previous year. No other changes were made to the contract other than that increase.
Did they have, when they were here, did they give writer stats? I mean, was it up or trend? Did they have that? Was it up, down,
You didn't
even?
have it yet.
Oh, they didn't.
When he was here, he did say that they have a new program that's going in that's going to monitor that. So as that gets implemented, we'll be able to get actual ridership numbers.
I mean, I see people out there, I guess. I just don't know.
Yeah. But we don't have finite numbers just yet.
What's the increase for, do we know? I mean,
I-
they can't say fuel prices.
I would assume it's probably wages and benefits, some of that. We share that cost with the city of La Crosse, and of course the federal government pays the brunt of the bill through a grant to the city, so.
I'll tell you though, when I first started there 21 years ago, the federal and state was 80%, and I see now it's at 55%.
Yeah.
So that cost, that 7 and 8, those are both ours, 7 and 8, obviously, I'm guessing, right?
7 would be French Islands.
7 is French Island.
Oh, okay.
And that's the hours, yeah, the cost is 166, the grant is 166,679, and the city of Canvas split and share $38,861 each.
So the total cost is actually that. So it's
The total cost is $307,890.
Mm-hmm.
Either that or no bus service, so
Yeah.
move to approve the agreement between La Crosse and Campbell for the public transportation
I'll second that.
2019.
I have a motion by Bob and a second by Mitch. Any further discussion? I'll call a motion. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, say no. Now I'll have to abstain. Motion carries. 5D, addendum to 2019 Paulson Associates Assessment Year Contract. Mr. Chad brought it to me that they had an increase because the state changed. They have to give out a notice now to view property. So they're forwarding that cost to us, I guess. Correct, Chad?
Correct, yes. So what they're asking for is another $2,700 for this year to conduct audits, partially because, again, what the state has changed the way that they can view property. They're probably going to have to make more trips from Wausau to here, cover their costs. Again, option A would be accept the $2,700. Option B would be to put out for bids, again, for auditing for assessment services. Although I feel that B.A. Pauls has been with us for many years. I think he's a super guy to work with. Always very accommodating, very easy to get a hold of. I don't think he would maliciously do anything. I know they probably struggle. I talk to him quite often. I'm sure it's expensive.
So we should expect this always to be a little higher.
Moving forward, yes.
Moving forward, we will, yeah.
Yeah, we'll be able to budget for it. This kind of came again after budget time, so as you can see, the date of this letter was December 5th, so. basically what we're asking, I guess, is a small budget adjustment from our original number.
So this is the audit year this year, obviously, yeah.
It's a maintenance year, actually.
Oh, maintenance year.
Mhm. Yep.
I'll make a motion that we approve the addendum to the 2019 Pauls and Associate Assessment Year contract to reflect the cost increase that they are going to experience due to a change in the state statute.
I'll second that. I got a motion by Mitch, second by Terry. Any further discussion?
I was just gonna say, since I think, we've pretty much been in that agreement, but every once in a while, maybe, at this point after we do the maintenance, maybe worthwhile to put it back on, just to see, make sure we get a competitive price.
Sure.
Mm-hmm.
Mental note, I'm sure I'll forget by the time it comes up. So all you guys remember will be good.
Any further discussion? I'll call the motion. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, say no. Motion carries. Move down to 5E, review and possible updates to the employee policy and procedure manual. Mitch?
Okay, this was about reinstating the sick leave policy. Currently, we have 7 out of 10 employees that do have sick leave. 3 of those will expire upon their retirement, but then we're going to have half the workforce that does and half the workforce that doesn't. And I'm proposing that we bring sick leave back.
How many do not have it right now?
3.
3.
Three in the police department very likely is going to maintain it.
Actually 4, I'm sorry. 4.
4 don't?
Yeah. Joe,
Okay.
Lenny, myself, and
Right.
Brittany.
Okay.
Is that a motion?
I haven't made the motion
Oh,
yet. I'm looking for some
yeah.
discussion.
I just did a little bit of, before the meeting started, I was just saying $25 an hour times 8 hours times 11 because you get 13 sick days, but then they're going to lose 2 of them personal days. Correct, Jack? They take them 2 away?
3.
3 days?
Yep, they go back down to 2 personal days.
Oh, okay. And it would be like, when they ever got paid out, if they were at 30 years, that'd be $66,000. If you had
Total payout.
Correct. If you had 30 years of
But
service.
payout by cash is only 40% of that.
I thought it was 100%.
No, it's 100% if you use it toward your continuing health insurance costs.
Is that 66 that you have for all 4 employees?
Just one.
Oh no, it's not that much. No, it's
No, yeah, it's nowhere near that for, it's probably that much for 4 employees. It's, I'm going to guess it's going to run about $24,000 an employee. And then if they take a payout, it'd be 40% of that. And otherwise they could apply that toward future health insurance costs after they retire. And that'll last about a year.
unless you're like Sue, she takes it out at like $600 a year.
Yeah. And she probably is using it to cover her deductibles and that kind
Yep,
of stuff
exactly.
from her husband's plan.
Well, they're Medicare, Medicaid,
Okay.
or whatever.
Okay.
So.
Kels?
We all know who I feel about it. I think we should go to a bank at one time, let them use them all they want to use them. And get rid of the whole sick time and everything.
Well, it's not going to come out of the police contract unless you offer them something pretty substantial for it. So then we're going to have half the workforce that has it and half that doesn't.
Well, we have half the workforce that gets a raise and half the workforce that doesn't, so. So, I'm a firm believer in when they start, they get a prorated amount of time for vacation, PTO, sick time, whatever, a mental health day, you want to take it off because you want to. And then the next year, they can bank up to 25 days, and you can never go over it. Anything that goes over that you have left over gets shoved into a short-term disability. That's what I'm a firm believer in, so. And you guys are never going to go that way, so.
Well, that's the way we are right now. short-term disability.
No, but you give them different banks, you give them a sick bank, you give them,
Well, that's only by category.
right, and this won't be a
I mean,
category. This will be
the
just-
employees that have it, yes, they have the different banks, but they're all categorized that way
There
anyway.
won't be any category, it'll be
Yeah.
just 12 days, 25 days, and you do what you please.
Well, 25 days is not a lot of sick leave if you have a major illness.
That's what short-term disabilities and long-term and FMLA,
Well, if MLA doesn't pay you.
you know.
So. Ralph?
I think I'm with Mitch on it. Especially in light of some of the things that have happened with some of our employees in the last year. But, so, hug you for it.
It was a benefit that they had before. It was taken away by the town board after Act 10 was passed.
It was really the kind of industry standard was where that, so to what Kelsey's talking about, that was the model. So it wasn't like getting rid of all your stuff, it was like making it more like probably consistent with most of the constituents have in the town. So that was the model, that wasn't just some random take it away. So.
No, I understand.
No, I
But Act 10 paved the way for that to occur.
How much do you think it would be? You'd have to budget for that, but
No, again, it's an unbudgetable item if they're just accumulating it. The only time that it plays into factor again would be if they retire. You know, monetarily from a budget standpoint, it doesn't really cost anything at this point. I go back to, you know, and I understand what the industry standards said, but if we weed out the general employees at some point, you're right, all the general employees won't have it, but you're still going to have half the workforce that is going to get it. And what's the difference? Whether or not you give them a full bank of whatever you call PTO, now they got a bank of PTO and sick time. You know, we've always talked about fairness between all the employees, and
Well, we should have started a while ago.
It's a never-ending slippery slope. That's why you can't, no matter what you say for what one person says is fair, another person is not. So, I mean, continuous improvement would be more where I try to get to. And industry standard would be kind of that model or that guidance. So,
and I guess I mean, as myself, and I can't speak for the rest of them, but I understand. I definitely understand going to one bank system, but I see on the other side of things, you're not going to eliminate it from the other side, unless, like you said, Mitch, we're going to substantially offer them something, and unless the board's willing to do that, I can't sit here and advocate not to get it back. So until we come up with a solution that benefits the entire workforce, this is probably the best option.
How many people have we had work here for 30 years and retire?
Since I've been here, 2, 7 years. I mean,
Just because a person stays 30 years doesn't mean they have a full bank.
Yeah.
You know,
Exactly.
I mean, I had people that I work with that retired with 0 days,
Right.
and others that had a complete bank. So if you have a major illness, that can chew up your bank very quickly.
I think prior to that, when I first got here in 2012, I think it was Mark Hess. I think he had just retired and got a little bit. I think he had about 12,000. He didn't have a full bank when he retired.
Well, Mike Shield didn't have any when he retired. He had a 0 bank.
you're collecting sick hours and you're collecting like on a long-term disability, are you double dipping then?
You're allowed to.
Yeah.
You can get your 60% plus you can use whatever bank you need if you won't need to bridge that gap at 40%.
Is that what long-term pays, 60%?
Yes. Less taxes.
And how long does that take to kick in? 6 months?
Well, the short term kicks in right away. There's a 1 week elimination period, and then the long term kicks in after that, which is 9 weeks or 10 weeks, something like that. I forget exactly.
Is that why they added the short-term disability? Because they eliminated the sick hours?
I think that was the original plan. Yes, I mean Bob can help on that. Was
Yeah, if
that?
I remember
but-
right, that was the,
Yeah.
get the bridge.
Well, I'll move that we hold it over another month until we get a financial study on what it would actually cost if everybody retired with the full bank. And then we can make a decision based on that. But I would be in favor of reinstating sick time, and if the board isn't willing to, then I would certainly be in favor of increasing their personal leave time that they could build up beyond the 25 days.
So I understand, the 25 days personal leave, along with if you get 3 weeks.
That's everything, that's vacation and everything.
Okay.
Yeah.
So that wouldn't be, you get 3 weeks vacation plus 25 days.
That's less than some of them are getting now.
No.
No, I just want to be clear on that. So it's not, you don't get vacation along with the personal.
No, that's all your time. It's all your time.
So if somebody has 3 weeks, they're going up, but if somebody has 4 weeks, they're going down, basically.
Well, no, they would still get their 4 weeks vacation. Correct?
I guess I was on the same, what you were thinking. If you're talking 25, you got some that are already at 4.5 weeks
4.5
vacation
weeks.
plus personal time and sick time.
Right.
So some would be going down. But that doesn't address the Act 10 contract people.
Well, I'll hold it over for another month. We'll run some financials on it and look at it again next month.
Motion for you?
That's the motion.
Okay.
I'll second that.
I have a motion by Mitch and a second by Bob. Any further discussion? I'll call the motion. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, say no. Motion carries. Let's move down to closed session. Could I get a motion to go into closed session, please?
So moved.
Motion by Mitch, second by Kelsey.
Supervisor Gregg. Supervisor Thorne.
Yes.
Chairman Schaller.
Yes.
Supervisor Bromer.
Yes.
Supervisor Wolford.
Yes.
Motion to go back into open session.
So moved.
Oh, sorry.
I have a motion by Mitch, second by Bob. Any further discussion? I'll call the motion. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. We're in open session. Move down to possible actions on items discussed in closed session.
What's that?
You want to give the time for people to come in so we can hear what's going on?
Other duties have to sign this stuff. Okay.
Throw it out there, Mitch.
What's that?
You want to bring it up?
What do we have, 2, 3?
2 motions, right?
Right.
Yes.
All right, and I make a motion that we end the seasonal employment of our current part-time employee, Ben Harder, effective today.
I'll second that, I guess.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. Motion by Mitch, second by Terry. Any further discussion? Call the motion. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, say no. Motion carries.
And then I'll make a motion that we make a posting for a part-time seasonal employee in streets and maintenance department with employment date beginning March 18th, 2019.
I'll second that. I had a motion by Mitch, second by Terry. Any further discussion? I'll call the motion. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, say no. Motion carries. That concludes our business. Can I get a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
Second.
Motion by Mitch, second by Bob. Any further discussion? I'll call the motion. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, say no. Motion carries. We are concludes.
And I did get Joe's phone order today, but now that I'm here, I'll go home and send it.